Yes, welcome back, viewers. It's time to go deeper into CISCO'S private collection. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you enjoy watching our content, show us some love by liking the video, and ring the bell to make sure you get notified whenever we drop new content. We appreciate you all. In today's episode of my private collection, we're going to be taking a look at my Robinson Armament XCR-L by Echo One. Now you may be wondering, Cisco, where's the gun? Actually, it's been in view the whole time. It's right here. Let me go get it. I bet you guys haven't seen one of these in a very long time. It's a weapon from a bygone era, from a less civilized time. This is my Robinson Armament XCR-L by Echo One, and the L stands for long railed version. They do have a shorter rail version, which is the XCR-S, and the reason I chose the long version is because I play outdoors. Now they do have the full metal version with the split gearbox and the wire stock. That one is around the $400 range. The reason I went for the Sportline version is because I was a very poor lad one time. Well, I'm still poor, but that's because my tastes in Airsoft have changed dramatically for the worst. I need help. Or a loan. Private investors, DM me. Now, for you Airsoft historians out there, the XCR came about in Airsoft around the 2010s, early 2010s. I purchased mine back in 2011, and this was kind of my first step into getting outside of the M4 platform. Believe it or not, I did get tired of the M4 platform, and I wanted to try something different. The XCR provided the same controls, or very similar controls, to the M4, with giving it a different look, which made me feel very comfortable with purchasing it. You know, it's kind of like the Cholula Airsoft. It's a little spicy, not too much, where you get a little kick in the back of the throat to make you think, what is that? As I said before, the controls are very similar to the M4 platform. The pistol grip, the selector switch, the trigger of course, and the magazine release are exactly in the same spot as the M4, and it takes M4 magazines, which was probably the biggest reason why I got this gun. Yeah, it just makes life easy. The only thing that was really different about the functionality of the gun was the charging handle, but you didn't really need to use it in Airsoft, so not too big of an issue. Now I have two major gripes about this gun. One being the buffer tube. It is actually a commercial spec buffer tube. Echo One, I don't know why you did that, but it makes it a little bit difficult to pick out another stock. So if you are looking to get this gun and want to change out the stock, make sure you get a commercial spec stock, or try to change out the buffer tube for a mil-spec stock. I haven't personally done it, but I'm going to after this video, honestly. And the second gripe is going to be the pistol grip. The Echo One pistol grip is at a slightly harsher angle than a regular AEG grip for some reason, and it causes the motor to wind a little bit higher pitch than normal, which means to me that it's not meshing properly. So I put on a VSC pistol grip, and it's smooth. You have nothing else to do to it but that. Now, to go over some of the features that I really like about the XCR is going to be the monolithic upper rail system. This gives you a true uninterrupted space of rail with the quad rail system up front for you to mount any accessories that you want. A lot of M4s back in the day used to run the Delta ring, which caused spacing issues because you had that interruption between the rail system itself and the upper receiver. With this, you can mount accessories wherever you want, and this gives you honestly more of a modernized rail system because of how long it is. It goes almost out to the very end of the barrel, which is 14 inches, 14.5 with the flash hider, which is standard carbine length. So you can actually run this with a more modernized shooting style like a Buki or a Garand Thumb for a +2 speed, but this was available back in the day, which is really cool. The upper receiver is designed after the gas system that XCR is made for, which does have a slight rise to the receiver compared to M4s where it's completely flat with the buffer tube. This does give you an inch of raise for you to get a better cheek weld for optics or iron sights. Back in the day, a lot of bulkier face masks were available, and it was very hard to get a good sight picture through an optic. And with this, it gives you the raise without having an additional like rail accessory, which was really cool. This was the only acceptable drop stock that is on the market. You hear me, Kevin? Now you might be wondering, Cisco, what have you done to this gun externally? And over the years, I have gone through many variations of this gun with different accessories, but in its configuration, I do have just a basic birdcage up front. It's classic and I like it. For gripping solutions, I do have the XTM hand stop by Magpul. I didn't include the extra panels just because it felt a little bulky, and this was perfect for what I needed it to do. I do have VFC front iron sights, or flip up iron sights, and the main optic is going to be a replica of an ACOG. This is still a 4x magnification with a red and green illumination. This one is actually made by Spartan Imports, but has been discontinued for obvious reasons. And I do have a fake battery box up here in the style of a PEC 15, just because I wanted it to look a little bit more beefy, but not add too much weight. I could have added a real PEC box, but it's on my block too as well, and yeah, it looks nice. I had it up front before, but it looked weird, so having it back here doesn't interrupt with the scope and just makes it look a little bit more full. And the final accessory that I added to the gun is going to be the lower receiver. The stock versions of the gun only come in all black or all tan, and I was lucky enough to come to an Airsoft GI Boneyard sale and pick up this black receiver and do this very nice dual tone look to the gun that makes it look really, really nice. It's kind of like a nice brownie with like a caramel drizzle on top. It's just so tasty. Now moving on to the internals, you might be wondering, Cisco, you always do upgrades to your guns. What did you do to this internally? And the answer is nothing. I didn't do anything to the gearbox or the motor. The reason being is because the trigger response and the rate of fire were perfectly fine the way they were with an 11.1, and the FPS was right at 400, which is what I wanted to be at. The only changes that I did internally were going to be to the hop-up and barrel system. I swapped it out for a VFC rotary style hop-up unit, a G&G green bucking, and an SHS 6.03 inner barrel, which gave me really good accuracy and very consistent range, so no issues. Now, I didn't leave the gearbox alone because it was proprietary. It's actually a standard version 2 gearbox, so you can do whatever you want to it. You can put any type of MOSFET, gear set, compressor set, whatever you want to it. And even the air nozzle is a standard M4 version 2 air nozzle, so it'll work with whatever hop-up unit you want it to. Now, like I said before, this was my first step into not an M4 platform, and at the time they did have the really cheap D-Boys SCAR, which wasn't the greatest, and they had the very expensive VFC SCARs, which was out of my budget. They did have the AK Masada, which wasn't that good, and then they did have the GAP PTS Masada, which was expensive as well. So I felt that this was a really good choice for what I wanted to do and what I had at the time. So back in 2011 when I bought the gun, I left it bone stock until about 2012 from when I changed out the barrel, bucking, and hop-up unit. And I ran it that way with different accessories until 2013 when I was able to get that lower receiver and swap that out. And that was about the last time that I did an update to the gun with its current accessories on here. And I've been very happy with the way it's performed. The scope gives me the magnification I need to see downrange, especially because this has really good accuracy and range. And it's been very lightweight, very competitive, and I've had no issues with it. I've been very happy. I should take it out more often, but I'm gonna let it sit on the rack for a little bit longer, just until I can get into the gearbox. Now, I believe the XCR is the perfect platform for those of you who want something a little bit more spicy than an M4, but can't handle the heat of a SCAR or an AK. It's been very reliable and a lot of fun, and the drop stock here. Speaky B guys, during the week, here you go. And then Milsim on the weekend with the long barrel, come on. I'm gonna say I ran a drop stock longer than Kevin. Thank you guys for joining me in my private collection. I'm really glad that I dug deep and found this gem in my private collection. If you happen to like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, make sure you subscribe. We upload every Mondays and Fridays. And we'll see you guys later in my private collection.
Happy feet, wombo combo. That ain't Falco.